Hello everybody. I'm trying something new here today, as you can see. Instead of doing the PowerPoint presentation or just putting the words on the screen, I'm actually going to look at you face to face. So today we're going to continue the series of reflections on the teachings of Jesus Christ. And we're going to be reading from Luke 11, verses 37 through 41. We're going to be talking about a discourse that Jesus had with some of the Pharisees. And a metaphor that he used, and we'll be focusing on that metaphor and kind of unpacking that. So, without further ado, I've got my Bible. Let us read Luke 11:37 through 41. And after he had spoken, a Pharisee invited him to dine at his home. He entered and reclined at table to eat. The Pharisee was amazed to see that he did not observe the prescribed washing before the meal. The Lord said to him, "O you Pharisees, although you cleanse the outside of the cup and the dish, inside you are filled with plunder and evil. You fools, did not the maker of the outside also make the inside? But as to what is within, give alms, and behold, everything will be clean for you." So here we see Jesus entering a home to share a meal, as he often did. And he did not go through the prescribed cleansing and the washing that he should have according to Jewish tradition. So the Pharisees, remember, who are the teachers of the law, the religious teachers of the law, the keepers of the law, if you will, they're amazed and they say, "Why, Jesus, why aren't you going through this tradition? I mean, you're supposed to be a rabbi. You're supposed to be this great teacher. Why aren't you following the letter of the law?" And Jesus replies, "You guys are fools. You wash the outside of the dish, but on the inside, you're full of evil and plunder." One translation reads, "You're full of robbery and evil." So, obviously this here is a metaphor that Jesus is using, the bowl, the dish. But he's referring to the Pharisees themselves, and who they are, and what their priorities are, and by extension, referring to each of us. So Jesus said the Pharisees, they cleanse the outside of the bowl, but the inside is dirty. The inside hasn't been cleansed at all. See, what exactly does that mean? In 1 Samuel 16:7, when we're reading about Samuel looking at Jesse's sons, Samuel looks at Jesse's sons and he sees, this one is tall and strong. This one looks like a natural born leader. God says, "No, I don't look at any of that stuff." 1 Samuel 16:7 says, "The Lord doesn't see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And I think this is the heart of what this metaphor really means here. This is what Jesus is saying, is that a lot of time as people, as religious people, or just people in general, we tend to have this attitude that somehow putting forth our best outward appearance really counts for something. We have the term "put on your Sunday best." What does that mean? What does your Sunday best mean? It means your best suit. It means a new haircut, shine shoes, pressed slacks. It means wearing a tie, even though you never wear one. When we put on our Sunday best, we try to make our outside look as nice as possible. When we're going into the house of the Lord, for example, when we go to church, we put on our Sunday best. We try to look as nice as possible on the outside. And that's good because it reveals a bit of the condition of our hearts. But at the same time, do we put on our Sunday best on the inside? Do we make sure that our inside is neatly pressed and clean? Do we make sure that the inside... Kitty cat's doing something. Do we make sure that the inside is pure? So what did Jesus say? Jesus said, "As for the inside, give alms, and the rest will be clean for you." Now, this is an extension of the metaphor here. See, Jesus is not exactly saying, give money and everything will be fine. That's not what he's saying. When he says give alms, yes, he is talking about giving alms, which means giving to the poor, but he's also talking about the condition of our heart. He's talking about the condition of who we are within. You see, when we give alms, when we truly give to the poor, to help people in need, that shows that we have compassion and kindness in our heart. That's the worship that God desires. God would rather see us show up to church in a burlap sack that smells and have compassion and kindness in our heart than to show up in a brand new Armani suit full of greed and envy and malice and strife, just thinking about the next dollar we're going to make on Monday. You see, this is the question. Do we pay attention to our outward appearances and the way we present ourselves while ignoring the way that God sees us? You see, God sees our heart. He sees the inside. He sees the outside too, but his unlimited understanding is not restricted like ours is. He doesn't interpret outward appearances the same way we do. Think about John the Baptist, just like Elijah, living out in the wilderness, wearing burlap, sackcloth, eating bees and honey, never brushed or shaved his beard. And yet, God would call John the Baptist one of the most blessed and righteous people of all time. That's what Jesus is saying. So, as we approach this coming days, the coming week, let us try to think about the conditions on the inside of our heart, on the inside of the metaphorical dish or bowl. And let us approach every day by putting our Sunday best on inside. May God bless you all, and may His will be done in all of our lives and throughout the whole world. If this video works, then I'll do more of the same type. And don't forget to check out my website for more devotionals, Bible reading plans, and the read-along Bible. Right now the address is reflectionsonthecross.wordpress.com. But keep your eyes open. Soon it'll just be reflectionsonthecross.com or something similar, and I'll let you know when that happens. God bless you. I'll see you soon.